It's Too T3rpd.
Alright, so normally, I always ask the first question, do y'all freestyle? But most of y'all ain't got no headphones, so y'all can't really hear it. So
yeah, I feel like I missed it. I feel like the music was really hidden.
Oh yeah, I made that. Yeah,
Jessica, was it good?
You guys will never know.
But y'all already know how it go, and it's the Too T3rpd podcast, and it's your boy Donovan, a.k.a. Mr. You Knew What It Was When You Signed Up. All right, you already know.
I love that.
Thank you. Try to be a little professional.
Yeah, no, I love that. This is really cool. Because I'm just gonna say it.
Go ahead.
We know you in improvisation, and this is kind of meta because I get to see you in your podcast world, and we're part of the podcast. But this is really cool.
Yeah, it's like the thing about how we see each other in practice. And you're very studious in practice, and you're just listening and attentive, and then here it's full on
Mr. Worldwide.
Why?
This how I'm trying to be on stage too, though.
No, on stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on stage, yeah, clearly. But I'm just saying, we spend a lot of time in practice, where it's just everyone is very locked in and quiet for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, we just be chilling.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be it's one of the first times where we just gonna be kicking it, where it's outside of just doing the hangouts and shit like that, where we really just gonna be kicking it, talking, and just really getting to know everybody.
Yeah.
But shit, all right, my bad. It's a Too T3rpd podcast. This is your boy. Did I do that already? Yeah, I'm a little high already. I was on a little bit before y'all got here.
I'm gonna be saying that. I'm gonna be saying that the rest of the night.
Yeah.
When we leave.
You knew what it was.
You know what it was when you signed up.
You knew what it was when you signed up.
So if y'all don't know already, I got a great group of people in the building today. So honestly, this is one of my episodes that I'm really most proud of, and it hasn't even started for real yet, because this is something that really means a lot to me, honestly. Shout out to Jessica and Aaron for even making this all possible for real.
And Brandon.
Yes, Brandon, yeah. All of us for real.
All of us, for sure.
But I remember early, when I was getting ready to graduate from classes at the Improv shop, I remember you ran up to me and you were like, yo.
I literally ran. I was like, I see one, I've got to go.
If y'all, y'all definitely know what we talking about. That'll make a whole lot more sense when we talk about things. Why that hit so hard. Yeah. So she came up to me and she was saying, yo, we're trying to start a group of all black improvers. Would you be interested? I'm like, hell yeah. So she's like, all right, I know you have another person in your class too. We'd like to get him on. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this. So eventually we all met at Steve Hot Dog, a black-owned business, black on black. That's all we be doing around here, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? It just flows like that. And so from the first meeting, we all clicked and we was trying to figure out, what this was going to be. And here we are. Some black people sitting on the couch, about to talk shit, and let y'all know what we about.
Yeah. It's good.
I just came with that on top of my head too.
That was it was interesting. I think Jessica had the seed just kind of in her mind,
Which is funny because I'm the only girl on the team.
Yeah.
I should have the egg, but I have the seed because.
Damn, she's trying to say she's stunning us.
Oh, a joke. Oh, it's a joke.
Yeah, I don't have a penis. And
Dang
so
it.
there's no sperm. Never mind. Edit that out.
No. It was a good joke.
Okay, so we got the hold on. Yeah.
There we go.
First shot of the night.
Thank you.
What was it? What did it sound like?
A gunshot.
Once again, you'll never know.
Hey, if you got to invest in speakers the next time y'all come through, so y'all can hear all the sounds that I hear that drop. For real, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just was it after a Toxic show?
No, it was maybe Dog Body. I saw Charles on stage,
Dog Body.
and I was very taken by Charles. And
Yeah.
I was like,
You're like, oh, now I have 5.
Well, I had been thinking about it pretty much. I had seen Toxic perform, and I had just, that made me feel something as a woman. And then it was like, I want to do that. but with black people, because I don't see that. And I had been waiting, man. I kept coming to shows. I'm like, there's got to be something. But there just wasn't. And it was just a huge opportunity that I'm like, this could be, I mean, people are waiting for this, whether the people around know it or not. And then the response has been, obviously, that was true, you know? So it just felt right from the beginning. It was something I wanted to do. And you were just always friendly looking. You just always were smiling and talking to everyone.
Yeah, I have a very open energy, so I hear.
Yeah.
So very approachable. And you were like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm like, yeah. And I'm counting in my head the amount of black people that I know at the Improv shop. And I'm like, all right, well, okay. And I don't know, did I ask you first? I think I asked you first, and I asked Kendall first, and Kendall said you were going to ask Charles.
Yeah, I asked Charles.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever you hit me up, I was fully in a space of like, I wanted to do more improv. Because I had not done much just because of like school and stuff.
Move a little bit closer to that.
So it was like just perfect timing of you being like, do you want to do this thing? And I said, yes. I was open to anything, but like really glad that this is what came through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and before we go any further, shout out to Charles. I know we keep on mentioning him. That's
What's up,
another
Charles?
member of Some Black People.
Hi, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
For sure, y'all. Okay, so what was down the line from there?
I think then after that, Brandon, I think, took control of it. Because Aaron and I kept being like, we'll meet on this date. We'll do it on this date. And the dates just kept coming and going, But then I think Brandon was like, enough of this. And he made an effort.
What did you do?
Started a group chat.
Oh.
Group chat, and then a when is good. When can y'all get together?
I love when it's good.
Yeah.
And that's how some people got eliminated from the group.
Yeah. You know what? We so ghetto around here, yo. My bad, y'all. We didn't even introduce y'all properly. So before
we just start talking.
Yeah, we just been saying names. So
Yeah.
Go around and introduce yourselves real quick, so then everybody is familiar with the names and all that.
Yeah, I'm Aaron. I'm Aaron.
I'm Brandon. But if that's hard to remember, people just call me beautiful. It's usually easier.
I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm Kendall.
And my name is Jessica.
And
we are
Some
Black People. It's so good, y'all.
Oh, damn.
It's cheering. It's
Oh,
cheering.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that studio audience that we got out there. Y'all act like y'all don't see that studio audience out there.
Calm down. Sorry. That poster of me is so cute. Thank you. I'll sign it later.
All right, my bad. All right, now we can continue.
But yeah, Brandon made the group chat and was just persistent, which is a very brave thing to be with people that you don't know. Mm-hmm. So I really appreciate it because I wasn't about to do that. I was thinking about it today, actually. I was like, I wanted to do something that I wasn't like pestering everyone about. Like I wanted to feel like everyone wanted to do it as much as me. Mm-hmm. And by like dropping the seed, if you will, and letting it be, like it took on a life of its own. So I did feel like that. But then today it kind of hit me that I didn't just like that didn't disappear like Brandon now might feel the way that I was trying to avoid feeling. So I was just thinking about it from your perspective.
I just, I feel like in my friend groups, I'm used to being the person who has to like corral, and like
you're good at it.
What can everybody do? Like, when can we like meet? Like, can we make this happen? Let's do it. And I was also just graduating at that time too. So I was like, okay, like, how do I put my foot into like this community, or like what's the next step? Mm-hmm. And like I had seen you perform. You were in the class right before me, and I thought like I knew you were a star from like the moment I saw you. There are still like things that you said in those shows that I think about like weekly.
Go ahead and tell me. I'm just joking.
And you, obviously, like you were the main black person I was seeing like performing like most of the time.
You were the token. That's crazy.
I mean, like
you can yes it. It's fine.
But I mean, like,
where did you see me? Who was that? Who did you see me play with?
Yak.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Yak, and I think other stuff too with Kara and Jack.
Oh, like Happy Endings. Yeah.
Happy Endings. Yeah. So, and then me and Donovan have been in classes. We've been doing the improv thing together like since the start. So,
Level 1.
Yep.
yeah. So I already knew that it was like great people. I think I'd maybe seen Charles perform once, and I don't think I'd ever seen you perform. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just I knew that it could work. I had faith in it, and I like knew that if we could just like get together and get it started, then that would be enough. And I feel like now everyone like takes turns like getting stuff done, you know, pulling stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I think from that first meeting we had at Brandon's house and we saw that whiteboard, I was like, oh, he's for real.
He's not playing around. I said, what is your zodiac sign?
It's Libra.
Yeah. Libra gang.
Hell yeah. So now that y'all know a little bit about how we got started, let's get into everybody's improv backgrounds, a little bit of what y'all would like people to know about y'all. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Hey,
Yeah.
I've been doing it the longest, so I feel like
Yeah.
Okay.
Kendall's the most OG
Big
right
fan.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started taking classes in, I guess it was either end of 2018 is when I started taking classes.
Okay.
And my classes ended in February of 2019. Ended in February of 2020 because the pandemic happened as soon as I was finished with classes.
Yo, so
Yeah.
how was that?
So it was like I went from taking classes to auditioning for a Herald team, which was like the house teams back in the day. And so once you were finished with classes, that was the only way you could audition. Once you auditioned, they would pick players. If they were going to make a new team, pick like 8 players or 12 players that auditioned and make a team out of them. So they held auditions in February, right after I was finished with classes. I got in by like the skin of my teeth. And I auditioned, and then I made the Herald team, and I was so excited because I was like, this is what every student wants to do when they're done. And then we had one in-person practice, and then the pandemic started.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I just know you were so excited.
I shit you not, probably the most excited I've ever been when I made the team because it felt like I had been working at this thing for like a year and a half. And
Yeah.
it was like,
You had been, I'm assuming.
I mean, yeah, for sure. But it was like, because of the fact that I did not want to perform while I was still a student, I was like, I got to make sure I get everything taken care of before I perform at all. And then like only performed, I think 4 times because you only had 4 performances back in the day as a student.
Right.
So I was like, I had only 4 performances, and they still picked me to be on this team. I was like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to anyone ever. And I was like running through the house cheering when I got the email. And then it was all taken away.
Just that quick.
Yeah, for real. But luckily, since we had already started the team, and they were like, I guess we'll start doing Zoom improv. Yeah, it was brutal. Because of that, I was able to like make friends in the space because most of the people who I took classes with no longer are around at all. Like, never come to the
I
shop
can
at all.
see that. So like, that's one of the main questions I want to ask. As soon as you brought up the pandemic, what made you want to keep going? Because I could imagine that'd be hard.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of people that didn't come back.
Oh,
after the pandemic.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Like everyone who is, I would say, like in the position that we are, as in like teams that people like want to see.
Swag.
Most of them are gone. Most of those people are gone.
Wow.
Yeah, if they're around, it's like so sparingly. Like once every 3 months, I'll see a face of someone who was on a Herald team that I used to watch back in the day. And then like Charles, It's like Charles, Phoebe. Those are like the only. Or there's a couple other people that were like Herald team performers, but like outside of that, yeah, a lot of those people are gone. But I got really lucky because I don't know that I would have been like reaching out to try to join teams that weren't my class team.
Yeah.
So like getting on that Herald team put me in a place where I could make friends with other performers who I had admired and like the stuff that I had seen them in.
Sure.
So like luckily, like none of us were doing anything because it was the pandemic. So I just played a lot of video games and made friends with these people who I just recently met and was put on this team with.
Yeah.
And then did some online improv shows. They were brutal, hard to watch. But you can still go find them. They're on the Improv Shop's Facebook. They're like on that Facebook, yeah. And you can go watch them. They're just like a little uncomfortable because for me the hardest part was like no eye contact.
Hey, what happened when somebody started lagging though?
It was like, oh, I think they died. Because suddenly this person disappears. Also, there was definitely times where someone would be like setting up the show, right? So the host, you're not in the room with anybody who you're doing improv with.
Yeah.
So like the host would not be someone who's on the team, but like maybe they would like accidentally turn on their camera in the middle of their scene. You know what I mean? It was like just the toughest stuff. But I think it was like important for the community to be like, we're still going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like we all, whoever's here and wants to do it is going to continue to do it. Yeah, I don't know. It was cool. It was cool to like make the friends that I then had like my first improv show with post like my studentness in real life. I'm like, I think Scott and Elena were we had a 3-person team, and we had a show at Heavy Anchor before the Improv Shop I think even opened back up.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow.
We had heard that the Heavy Anchor was booking shows again, and we were like, okay, everyone come in a mask. We're gonna be wearing masks. We're gonna do improv.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how was that? Because that is actually very impressive.
Okay. I'm like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, shout out to them for booking it because I believe Scott booked it. But for me, I was like, oh, this is electric. Like, this is the best feeling in the world because it's like the first live thing that is happening, not just for like myself as a performer, but like for a lot of the people in the audience. It was like the first time they were seeing people in like a year and a half, performing. And it was like as soon as vaccines went out and Heavy Anchor's like, we're lifting this restriction a little bit. We were like, okay, yeah, let's go. And it was incredible. It was really cool. Yeah. And then I got on a cage match team and did a really long run and then lost cage match and then said, I'm going to step back from improv. And I didn't do it for a long time, which is why like most of y'all probably didn't see me perform until we had formed as a team, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I saw you do like one thing because I just remembered like you're just kind of like flippant, like dry thing, and I was just like, that's cute, and I like that.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah. That Dirty Shirley run was just, it was, I would say it was my for real improv awakening. Like I just started off like kind of doing some classes and had been seeing that, and I was like, I leaned over to my buddy Frank and I was like, they're unstoppable.
That team, I had under 10 improv shows under my belt when that team started performing. I think I was like 7. And I was like, these people are mostly veterans on that team, play incredibly fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was a really good way for me to like get locked in and be like, okay, you got to step it the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like a swim at that point. Yeah.
True.
It's very real.
That's the kind of I love that shit. Like I think that helped me like tighten up is like just kind of getting thrown into a mix of people that I personally didn't feel like I was ready to play with.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you can't just stand up here.
Yeah.
Don't just be up. Don't let those lights get pulled and you haven't walked out yet.
No, like honestly, I still be feeling like that sometimes with this group. For real. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, fucked up like that. I get to perform with y'all, like especially like straight out the bat after being a student. Like,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, this is the group that I'm in. That started like, God, yeah. Like,
I remember I was taking classes and Andy was talking about how the way to get paid at the Improv Shop is to have a Saturday night headlining show. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, that'll never happen, so I don't even care about this. Yeah. And I graduated in August, and then we had our show in January, so it wasn't even 5 months later.
Right.
And so it's been a weird experience to just graduate and then have, like, all your improv goals and dreams immediately come true, like, right away. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll be a star then. I don't know. Got to set my sights further now.
I mean, for real shit. We out here doing the damn thing. But, my bad, before we go any further, we get ready to light this tree up. So, let me go ahead and shout out to our sponsor, the homie Wade at We Supply Medical. You already know he brought that purple Orbeez Oreos and purple Rolex. Yes, you already know. He as a matter of fact, he did like a 2 terp special strain. And I'm pretty sure this is what this is right here. So shout out to the homie Wade, and y'all already know.
Thank
y'all
you,
trying to
Wade.
get some fire. Thanks,
Wade.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, Wade.
Thank you, Wade.
Matter of fact, y'all could smell it if y'all want to. Y'all could look at it.
Yeah, I'll smell it, Wade.
Yeah.
Oh, this actually
Put your pinky out.
is really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Really good, Wade.
Black farmer as well, so we're supporting black farmers.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, it smells so amazing.
Yeah, it smells good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It smells like my childhood. The better part of it.
I didn't know where to go with that. I was like, I was like, I don't know.
I remember one time I took my little sister to a concert, and my parents used to smoke weed a lot. I took my sister to a concert, and everyone was like smoking around us in the pit, and she goes, Jessica, why does it smell like our house in here? Yo. I don't know how to explain that to you, 10-year-old child. The way I found out my parents smoked weed is I was watching like TV, and there was like an anti-drug commercial, and they were showing someone like getting a joint ready.
Yeah.
And my mom was at the table rolling a joint. So I just like leaned from my spot on the couch. I was like, she's doing drugs right now. She's doing drugs in the kitchen.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's where we'll stop with my childhood stories for today. Put the stamp down.
That makes me think of that one weed commercial, the anti-weed commercial where the girl is deflated on the couch.
Yes.
That shit is incredible. Whoever came up with that was a mastermind. That shit is funny as hell.
Were they a mastermind, or were they trying to get people to do drugs? Because I think most people saw that and was like, I would try that. I want to do that.
Yeah. Oh, she'll also bounce back in an hour and a half. It's like, okay.
Yeah, why would you put that part in there? She'll be fine. Pass me one then.
Cool. I'll watch this movie and have a good time about it.
Oh no, I can relax for once.
Oh no, food tastes so much better. Oh no.
This is the worst thing that could have happened.
I'm devastated. I'm so comfortable and happy.
Oh man, that's fire. All right, so now, was it Aaron? You would get ready to go into your origins?
Yeah, I can.
You want to smoke first?
I'm good, bro. Thank you though. Hang on.
Ooh,
Wow, he getting ready. He getting
These are
serious
new.
now.
These are new, by the way, y'all.
they look so good.
Thank you.
Make sure you
Would you
zoom
say
in
you're
on those.
cool tones or warm tones?
Say it again for me.
Are you cool tones or warm tones?
I'm all the tones.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm all the tones.
All tones.
All of the tones.
all
yeah.
the tones.
All of the tones.
Dun.
Yeah. Was it? Did it do something?
No,
Oh, okay.
That's me this time. My fault. Damn, my voice ain't do it.
No, it did. It did. I'm just like, I'm gonna have FOMO the entire night. What happened?
tell what year. Start with the year you were born. Sorry.
I started improv 2021. So 2021. And yeah, it was good. I didn't know anything about improv or anything like that. Was going kind of through just a rough time in life and whatnot. And so I had done a late night Google search because a little more background is I do music, like drums professionally and everything like that, right? And kind of had stopped doing that just because of everything else that was going on. Oh, you good. Kind of everything else that was going on. And so I was Googling one night, and this was my Google search. I was like, fun things to do in St. Louis for extremely depressed guy. That was the Google search, which I look back on it now, and that's so freaking funny that I Googled that because I was very specific with Google. And then it just brought up regular shit to do in St. Louis. It was like,
Go Apes ropes course.
That shit is sick though. That shit is dope. No, that shit is awesome. I'll do that every day.
Amped Up Action Park was on there. The zoo was on there, just regular stuff. And so then like I kept scrolling, saw some theaters, and it got to Coca and then the Improv Shop. And so I clicked on the Improv Shop, literally went through every single page, watched every single video, looked at all of it. And by the end of the night, I had signed up for level 0.
Nice.
So I never even have stepped foot inside the shop at all. And I only went through level 0 because I didn't know what to expect. Right. So I'm just like, I'm just going to do it. Never went to a show. The first time I stepped a foot in the class was the first day of class. And Melanie had COVID still. And it was Tim Walsh. Tim Walsh was the teacher for like the first 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah. So it was cool. So I went through 2021, started Happy Endings with a couple of other people in level 3, as a matter of fact. And we kind of just started doing stuff. I think we like Kendall said, like you wanted to finish everything before. I think it was that childlike, like we have no fear type of thing. Let's just jump into it and see what comes out of it type of deal. So, yeah, I think we played a show at Mizzou and I'm like, man, I don't know what we're doing. And we're about to play for all these college students. It was an okay show. Like it was mid. It was mid. The show was mid. I'm not gonna lie, but it was fun though. It was fun, Then graduated, started playing on other teams. Then we kind of talked about earlier, linked up with Jessica. Some Black People formed. I feel like I had my big, like something happened to me, and I don't know what it was, but I feel like something really clicked for me in like our first Some Black People show. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like I morphed or evolved.
You were on.
You know how like Pokemon evolve?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I had my Pikachu to Raichu moment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you and him. Yeah. Yo, you and Jessica.
Yeah, it was
pocket in the mic. Yo.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was so much better than what I was going to say was PlayStation 5. And I'm so glad that Jessica cut me off and said pocket pussy, because I'm like, this is so much better. Let's fucking go.
Do you know why I cut you off? Because I forgot that when I do improv, I really do see like what is happening.
Sure.
So I opened the microwave, and I thought at that point you could see the pocket pussy. And I was like, do you want to say, like I was trying to let you say it because it was going to be, I knew it was going to slap. So I was like, do you want to say what it is? And as I said that, I was like, fuck. He cannot, there is not a microwave here. He has no idea. Like I knew I was like passing the buck, but that was not what I was trying to do. Like I thought you could see it. And then luckily my character was like an angry parent. So I just was like, no, I'll say it. I'll say what it is. Which then, like watching it back, the improvisers laughed. I could hear it, it was like an improviser's knowing of like, like they had a good idea and they just took it back. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely thought you could see the pocket pussy in the microwave. It was fantastic.
I'm like, oh, I feel like we were very like Super Saiyan that night. Like it just felt so freaking good. And,
like easy. Scott actually said to me, Scott is our tech for our show, said to me that was Aaron's star making performance. So the pocket pussy was really, really what did it for me.
Man. And then like ever since then, it's just like if I could use this word, like my swag on stage is insane. Like I approach the stage differently. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's because I felt so good. And I'm like, man, improv can feel this good in a moment. And like, I just want to stay at that high. Yeah. And so ever since I've taken the stage with anybody since then, I just fucking go. Like all gas, no break. Like I'm pouring gas. Like I'm not going to be reserved at all. And it just feels good. You know? So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. All right, Jessica.
I started probably in early 2022. Mm-hmm. I was just in my era of like, I was also going through a hard time. I was just taking a bunch of different classes. And at the time I was on the bus on my way to STL Community College, Forest Park. I was taking a philosophy class because I wanted to like expand the way I was thinking. And I passed by the Improv shop and it said classes on the side. So I just pulled it up on my phone on the bus. And I was like, this looks kind of challenging and like I would be uncomfortable. And that's kind of like what I was trying to do. So I just went in there and everyone was so nice and it pissed me off so bad. I was like, why is everyone being so nice to me and talking to me? Like, we're here to learn. We're supposed to be learning something. Everyone's like, we're going to make a group chat. I'm like, I don't know about any of this. But I guess I liked it. It put me in a weird, I just felt weird and I wanted to feel weird. So I just kept coming back and signing up for more. And then it was probably like level 2 or 3 before I finally came and saw a show. And I like literally did not know what I was learning, but I would just show up every time and be like, okay, whatever you say, and I would do it. But then I saw a show and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what my brain was made for. Like, my brain was made to do this. Like, and it was just a feeling of like, I want to be that good at this because I know that I can if I just have the confidence to be bad at it.
Hell yeah.
And that was like really hard. But I was really glad I had taken all these other classes. Like I took a pottery class. I was so terrible at that shit. Like it would be like an hour and a half through class and I would just be washing my hands and everyone would still be doing it. And the teacher would be like, Jessica, you still have a half hour? I said, I'll sit here for half an hour. And I would just like feel my feelings because I hated being bad. I hated it. So I was very prepared to be bad when I came to the shop. And I really needed that because it looks easy, but it's really not, you know, like I went back and took level 0 after I finished because I was like addicted to learning about improv. And it was like to watch everyone do the things that you do when you're learning it. It's like people would like come in a scene and they would be like, I'm leaving. I'm going to go. Like your brain is like, I want to get out of here. You know what I mean? So it's just like really interesting. The whole like path of learning it and what it does for you as a person is really crazy. Mm-hmm. But I was just doing it as a hobby. I mean, I still am technically just doing it as a hobby, but it feels more like a passion now than just like a hobby. Mm-hmm. But I just took the classes. I did the teams level, which was like 16 shows. And I was just hype. I love being on stage. I love people listening to me and what I have to say. And I just have a lot of thoughts, man. I like to share them. So it's just fun for me. But I did student showcase, and then I got asked to be on a team called Soothsayers, which is like with some of my old teachers, which was like a really shocking experience, kind of like you said, being thrown into the experience of like playing with people you're not ready to play with. Mm-hmm. And then we were talking about this. I can't remember if I had a Soothsayer show first or a Some Black People show, but I just definitely remember the Some Black People show being like, okay, I can do this. You know what I mean? I remember being backstage with like the lights out and the like getting ready to come out and just like stepping into the moment that I feel like I had replayed that hadn't even happened yet. You know what I mean? So it just felt like I was stepping into like an existing moment and making it happen versus like, I don't know, that sounds insane, but if it was just a really good, fun experience. I feel like I just like improv just took over my body.
Yeah. Yo, that intro, I don't think we talk about that intro enough. Our intro was so strong. It was so strong. I remember my cousins came to the show and they were like, it was just like blackout. And they just heard the music and they were like, we were looking around. We thought like there was going to be lights and smoke and everything, but the anticipation was like really good. And then Bay was playing. And so we were like, and I was like, yeah. And they were like, and then like y'all busted through the door and it was like, my cousin, she's so dramatic. She's a theater major too. She was like, and you said, I'm black. And that's when you came through. And I was like, oh. And she was like, I cried a little bit. I was like, yeah, something came over me in that moment too. It was like, if you look back and I like watching the show back, if you look at me, my face like changes and I'm like, so I have that little moment too. So it was, that intro was so good. Good choice, Jessica.
Thank you for trusting me.
It felt really good.
Yeah, it was
felt
really good. It felt nice. I just wanted it to be a moment, you know? Like, I wanted it to say, I wanted it to be dark, and I wanted it to say, like, dark skin. I don't remember the rest of it. I know I like that it said beige, fluorescent beige. I was like, hey, we're in it.
Yeah. Brandon?
It's just been so lovely and beautiful to hear you guys talk about the experience and just your experience in improv in general. I also started doing improv when I was depressed.
Yeah.
Super depressed. A weird sort of depression. A weird, real agoraphobic, like insular, fortified type of depression. And I had done a little bit of improv when I lived in Colorado. But I started in February of 2020. So I also identify it's a bit different because I just started, but right when I started, the pandemic happened. And y'all remember at the beginning of the pandemic, they were like, it's just going to be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, okay. It's just going to be like a couple more weeks. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we'll be done in July, you know? And then people start talking about like, oh, it's about to be a year or two. And I was like, nah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I was trying to work myself out of that depression. So I was like, I'm going to start doing improv classes again. Tired of researching things to do. I'll just try that again. Got into classes, met Donovan, and in my cohort that I graduated with, who are currently on a team called Chicken Coup. Shout out to Chicken Coup. Chicken Coup is fierce.
Shout out.
I then graduated, began a Tuesday with my partner, Tara Onay. Big shout outs to Tara.
What's up, Tara?
I love you, Tara. I love you. I love you so much. And started doing improv with them. Was doing it with Chicken Coup still. Then got the, sort of the initial talking for some black people coming. And we got together and everyone just, I felt the energy when we got together. An energy of professionalism, which is very important to me.
That's crazy because I was going to say sexual energy.
I mean, it's always a little bit of that.
I think it's just because I constantly exude sexual energy. So
there it is.
That's my bad. And then we just were really on it, like preparing for the show, and everyone in practice was just so amazing. We'd have such great fun in
But we
practice.
also took it serious. It was like really a good balance of like having fun and being like serious.
For sure. And then we have our coach, Elena.
Shout out to Elena.
What's up, Elena?
Love of my
Elena's
life,
last
girl. Do you
name?
come here often?
Hutsing.
Do you come here often?
We love you, King.
Elena is amazing. To get the opportunity to work with her as a coach is amazing. And I feel like it's helped me develop quite a bit. Just this team. And then, the night of the day of the show, I was feeling so emotionally inert. Like, as inert as I feel like I felt like in a long, long time. Like, nothing could move me.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
When you came to the jam, you were just feeling. That's what you were saying.
Well, the jam was very energizing.
The
It was
jam
beautiful.
I feel like helped us have an amazing show.
Like when you came in. I was saying when you came in.
Yeah.
That's how
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it just like speaks to like the healing power of improv. To like have that jam and have that be like so cathartic. And the jam really just like had like this feeling of black solidarity that just really, I think, put me where I needed to be. And then we got prepared before the show, and that was also very special. Just seeing everybody like kind of get into like their personal kind of like it's time to do improv, but then also making sure to be together as a group. And the show was amazing. I feel like very like happy about my performance in the show in a way where I really felt like just supported by like everyone constantly. And like walking out there, like I knew, okay, like if I like start to like feel like slipping in any way, I know anyone will walk out without any hesitation and help me. And I feel like that's what was happening. So, very excited to be on this team. Very excited for our run coming up.
Yeah. I think that first show, it was so many different emotions too. Because was it like the day before when Charles was like, yeah, y'all, I'm still sick. I'm not going to make it. And I think we were all like, okay.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, that was a herder. That was not that hurt.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to all performing together.
Yeah.
And
I think we were just kind of shook too because it was the first show, and we were just like, obviously we did it without him, but you didn't want to, like, you wanted to have that whole thing. And
Also, Charles is motherfucking hilarious. Like, he's
FedEx.
Yeah.
Charles is he's like, my breath is taken away watching him perform improv.
Yeah, it's crazy. He goes crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we went out to eat earlier that day, and I think we were walking back to the car, and I think you were like, "Are you nervous?" Like, I don't know. I'm not really nervous. What are you gonna wear? I don't know. I'm probably just gonna wear this. We just have like a very nervous energy conversation.
The thing is about Charles, he wasn't still feeling sick, but he was still testing positive.
Oh,
He was very
yeah.
considerate.
And that's where it was like, we were like, damn.
Yeah.
Because he had tested positive for COVID like a week prior.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
was like, it was the day before when he was like, yeah, guys, I think I'm actually not going to be able to come because I'm still testing positive. And that's when we were like,
we were very hopeful that he
really
was
were holding out hope.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I feel like this is a good time to go ahead and break real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool.
We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so 41.
How are we doing?
Good.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah, y'all can get up, stretch if y'all need to. Okay.
Yeah, I'll stand up.
All right, y'all. We back from break. You already know we had to take a couple dabs. Sitting up here just chilling, kicking it with the crew.
Hi.
Shout out
Hi.
Slump. For providing the dabs
Hi.
for us.
Everyone else did their high. I got to get mine in there.
I said hi? Okay.
Literally, everybody was doing it. So yeah, no, that makes sense. Improv.
It's just group mind. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, patterning. You've heard of it if you've taken an improv class.
I think we were talking about in that last segment, we kept saying, did we ever say we take classes at the Improv shop in St. Louis? Because I think,
No.
I wonder if people were just like, they keep saying class.
It's like when you
What do they mean?
when you think you set base reality, but you just implied it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We implied that we take classes or
Damn.
took classes at the improv shop.
We never even described improv. We just started talking about
Yeah,
improv.
we did.
Yeah, we did.
That's typical improv shit.
It is.
Yeah. So improv is, when I think of improv, it's basically a group of people
Who care about each other.
or don't.
Ooh, who used to care about each other.
Motherfuckers had some extra income and said, hey, let me go ahead and take some classes.
Yeah, and we do make believe stuff, and like we have some rules around it, and we play and we have lots of fun, and we
do
entertain
scenes.
each other,
We do
and we
'em.
entertain. Someone else take it. I don't know how to describe.
Have you ever seen any show that has sketch in it, like a sketch show, like Saturday Night Live? Imagine
Yeah.
that, but it's all made up and there's no props.
There's
Word.
no
Dang, that's
props.
great.
Word.
Or like,
Do it on the spot.
have you ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway? Imagine like
We don't do any of that.
Well, we don't like it's, but like that's the humor, or that's like
Sure.
the family of humor. It's like a theatrical kind of experience. But like if you're watching Whose Line and getting joy from like seeing that sort of thing, then it like is very that.
It's made up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a safe space?
Yeah.
All right, I've never seen Whose Line Is It anyway.
Oh,
I don't think
fair.
you missed out on a lot. No offense.
But you've seen sketch.
It's like a fine show, but it's also like it is short form game, so it's like
Yeah.
just the quickest joke about the most nothing thing.
Okay.
So you're fine to
Okay.
be an improviser and never seen
Yeah.
that show.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you're fine, but like Wayne Brady is also like I want to make sure that like we put some respect on Wayne Brady. Like he is my inspiration. He is so fantastic. He's really aspirational for me.
Shout out to Wayne Brady.
What's up, Wayne?
Hi, Wayne.
That's my favorite Chappelle episode.
I'm sorry?
That's my favorite Chappelle episode.
With Wayne?
Yeah.
Was he in the Chappelle show? Whoa. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I've seen this. I've seen the series.
Yes. Because, like, the whole reason that he had to be in it was because Paul Mooney, they used to do a segment with Paul Mooney.
Oh, yes. When you said Paul Mooney, yes, I recall. I recall now.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience.
Now you good?
Yeah.
That was that was a GOAT episode.
That was a good episode, for real.
Yeah.
I think it's just like the iconic ones that you always see circulating the internet and people quoting. That's not one of the main ones that I see, but I recalled it. It just took me a little bit.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that training day. Like, just seeing Wayne Brady like that in that aspect, that shit was... Yo, I'm hollering, yo.
Yeah, we're funny. We're funny too, though.
I feel like...
We still like you, Wayne.
I ain't gonna lie, man. We funny as fuck, yo. Like, when I think of this group, what even is, like, I don't know, what gets me hyped about this was, like, the first thing that what even got me to want to get interested in improv, honestly, was the 85 South show. Like, I had always watched SNL and all of that, and I like how, like, I always had dreams of wanting to be on SNL one day, but, like, now that it's kind of turned in what it is now, it's not as funny and shit like that. I feel like it's, I don't know, it's not, I don't know, it just don't got that flavor like that. Like, it's got so many parameters around it. And so, like, you know, going into it, I was having this thing of wanting to see, like, could I come up with that? Or, like, have some type of way to, like, make that happen. Like an 85 South, but, like, you know, start it here. Like, do something locally, you know, with a group of people.
Yeah.
And so I used to watch it with my wife a bunch of times. And so then she would start, I don't know, I guess she realized how much I was into it. And so she was the one who actually got me into improv. She bought my classes for my birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't even tell us how you got. That's dope. That's really cool.
Yeah. And so I started with level 0.
Same.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to expect. But I was like, you know, I think I kind of want to get into acting, like doing sketching and stuff like that. And I would see a lot of the people started with improv. Like, they would start with their teams and stuff like that. That's how a lot of shows got started. And so I was like, all right, well, I mean, I like doing processes, like, you know, the podcast, all that stuff. So it's like, all right, let's start doing this, because, like, I want to be an entertainer professionally. Like, I don't know if I ever said that, but, like, that's why I do. That's
Like
why I'm doing
full
improv.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah. So, yeah, like, I don't know. This, like, this group and everything that's been happening has just been, like, I think when I first started getting into improv, I had doubts of, like, if I was really going to be able to do it, if I was really going to be decent at it or not, if I was even going to be good. And, like, just being on this team, like, made me realize, like, nah, man, like, you really should be doing this. Like, this is lit. Like, this, I don't know, this team is, like, fucking game changing. Like, I just see, like, when people see us when we walk in a room, like, people, like, I don't know, their whole energy just changed. Like, they really recognize us. And that's, like, I don't know, like, all the things that I wanted to do, like, just like I was saying earlier, like, I don't know, I set it out with this group. Like, I don't know, like, it's fucking crazy. Like, shout out to Chicken Cool and all my partners with that. Like, I feel like that's where I started with, but this group is, like, the energy that comes into it. And, like, every time we all meet, I just feel like
the East Compton Clovers.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've never told y'all this, but that scene when they're walking into that first competition in this slow-mo.
Bro, I have some footage of us walking on my phone, and I put it in slow-mo, and I'll be like, we're cool as fuck, bro.
No. Like, we just got that fucking swag, and it's natural, yo. Like, we just feel like it ain't no feel. We just we belong up there, and we just fucking take that stage over. Like,
yeah, it feels
shit
good.
Crazy, yo.
I feel like I probably said this to you all individually, and I don't mean any offense to anyone, but I went to an all-white high school. Mm-hmm. Like, I lived in a very majority black area, but my mom sent me out of town to go to a majority white high school, so I learned how to be black among a lot of white people from an early age. And so when I came into the improv shop, I knew what to do. And there's just certain ways that you can't be. You can't be too passionate, honestly, too excited sometimes. You can't be too offended. You can't be too withdrawn. Like, I knew all of these things. And so, like, coming in, I was trying to be my realest self. And I felt like I was. But it feels like it felt like kind of like working out. I think I've said this to all of you, but like working out kind of underwater, like fighting against this invisible force that I didn't know I was fighting against. And then like when we first met and when we first hung out, it felt like just coming on to land and doing the same thing. It just felt like so effortless, and there was just immediately like genuine, real trust and care. And it was just like, I can say the things now that I know you understand, like the do-rag thing from practice the other day. Like, I wouldn't do that on my other teams, but it's just so the little things, you know, that it just feels different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I love my other teams too. Like, I love playing on my other teams. I love improv because every experience is different. Every team is different. Every time you combine different people for a different show, it's a different thing, and you have to like adapt and change with it. And I think that's what makes it such like a healthy hobby to have. You have to be really adaptable, and you have to care about other people.
Yes.
But yeah, I just feel like when we got together, it was like taking the weight off, like I could just really be my whole self. And there's still like struggles of bringing your whole self to a project with like a lot of people, but it was just a very different feeling. I'm gonna cry.
I mean, that's real. Yeah, that's real.
In the feels for real. Like, I know I don't be saying a whole lot around y'all and shit like that, but more so I just be like taking everything in, because I still just like, I don't know, just to even like be in the room and just all of us, like, I look at like where we're at in the time of the improv shop and like, you know, post COVID, like it seems like everything is really like turned up, and it's just kind of like to be a part of that. Like, when we look back years from now, like when we all doing like major shit, hopefully still together and all that, but like, you know, we all started at the improv shop. Like, when you look back on, you know, like actors and entertainers and comedians and all that, and you like hear their stories and stuff like that, and they got like, you know, the comedy shop in California or like
Second City.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we kind of building that right now with the improv shop, along with everyone else. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we really doing some major shit, yo.
That's why I took that picture.
Yeah.
I remember just being like, I feel like maybe one day someone might want to see this.
Yeah.
Just hopeful, you know, not expecting anything. And I love this story because I didn't really know anyone. And I was really nervous to ask for a picture. I thought it was mad corny. So I just opened the camera on my phone and just held it out until Aaron, I think, said, do you want a picture? And I said, oh, great idea. And that was so the last time I ever gave anyone credit for my idea.
Oh man, hey yo, shout out to the improv shop. We've been talking about it a lot. I think one of the big things, and hopefully I'm not speaking for anybody, but like having so much support and like having so much support from the top down, it makes a world of a difference, and it makes what we're doing a whole hell of a lot easier too. Andy supports it, and I remember when we started the BIPOC Jam, and it's like, yeah, I mean, we've done it before. We've got to try to get it going. It's like, you know, I just need people to run. He's like, I can't do it. Like, I can't be this white dude saying like, hey, all POC come, and you know. And it's like, so I was like, I get it. And so I love that he's so behind, you know, what we're doing as a team, and then just trying to continue to grow and diversify the improv space. You know, because we know it's historically a white space. And so to just let it be known that, hey, there is representation here in more than one facet. But for the purposes of, you know, who we are, like, yeah, there's a lot of black people that can see themselves in this space. And I just never want to forget, and I always remind myself that when I think about it, I'm just like, you know, I'm very appreciative for the platform and for the opportunity.
And that's what I was saying earlier about like us forming as a team is like a celebration and not a resistance.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
they are not trying to keep us out of the space
At all.
They are like so welcoming and trying to be like, please get on the stage.
Yes.
So yeah, like us forming as a team, I don't want people outside of like the space to be like, oh, they're so brave. It's like, no, we are being handed this to be like, please, you guys are great. Please go for it. It's not a resistance. It is a celebration of the space and like the people there.
That is a fact.
100%. Yeah. So, thank you, Improv Shop. Thank you, Andy.
For sure.
Appreciate you. Is that a clap? Is that a cheer or a clap?
It was a cheer, which is a group of claps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't get a little fancy around here.
I wanted, that reminded me of kind of the shock of when that Riverfront Times article came out, of like the negative. It was so like the comments were very, very negative, and like, why does this have to happen? And it really made me appreciate just the community, because everyone was like so immediately into it, and it was just crazy.
Can I have an honest moment?
Yeah.
That filled the fuck out of me.
Oh yeah,
I was
definitely.
Like, we about to smoke this. We about to smoke this shit.
It's also just so stupid of them, because like every time you comment, that means more people see it, and then they buy tickets to our show.
Nah, that was just motivation to like really just like I said, put something on y'all heads, and we really did that shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, I took a quick glance at it, and then I saw some responses. I'm like, oh, the allies got this. I don't got to say nothing. The allies, we're going hard in the comment section. Okay.
Yeah, I think that, like, and I also don't want to speak for everyone, but to me, it's like, I really don't, like, have any time to be, like, arguing with someone in the comment section about something that they're never going to, like, try to understand.
Sure.
Like, that's just, like, that is an emotional labor that, like, I'm not taking on as, like, a member of, like, a group, like, that's not what I'm, like, here for. So if other people want to, like, have our backs in the comment section and, tell the truth, like, go after it. I don't think that black people need to constantly be qualifying their existence in the space.
I also feel like I'm not going to argue with you online over something you wouldn't say to my face.
Word.
You know who is going to argue though? My mom. She was in those comment sections with a
I saw it. I said Bennett. I was like, oh, I see that. An ally.
I forgot all about that.
That's why. Shout out Mama Benny. Yo.
I feel like it was also interesting when we just did the KMOV interview.
Yeah.
Because he kept on, like, asking about, like almost like, he almost described it as a provocative name when he was doing it in, like, your interview, and was trying really hard to figure out how to, like, ask us to speak to that. And it's good.
There you go.
Figuring out how to ask us to speak to that, and I'm like, wow, I'm, like, not even used to thinking about, like, this line of questioning as far as, like, having to justify my existence. Like, typically at the Improv Shop, like we're talking about, it's like a supportive kind of, like, space of, like, promoting us and seeing our, like, value. That when he was, like, asking about those sorts of things, it was kind of like, I guess some black people is a name, like, it's not really what I'm here thinking about.
I think. Go ahead, Kendall. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's like why I took that question and to be like, it is just to let other black people know.
Yeah.
Like, come see this show. If you want, if you're wondering about this space, you want to feel comfortable in this space, and you want to not, you know what I mean? Like, you want to see yourself represented or whatever. This is the show to see. So that's how we came up with the name. It was not, again, like a resistance against anything, as much as just being like, no, this is it. Come see it.
I remember that specific conversation where we were like, the final, like, nail was like, yeah, if you're just scrolling down the site, wondering what show to see. As a black person, if I saw that, I would be like, I know exactly what show I want to see.
Yeah.
So we just really wanted to be explicit and clear.
Yes. And that's the beautiful thing, is like, we made it for other black people. It wasn't, this is not some, like, antagonist type of thing. Yeah. Saying, like, when people are like, so can white people come? Like, you know what? You can't come. Yeah. Because you asked that dumbass question.
You're saying a lot about yourself right now.
Like,
I also feel like we did white people a favor, because, like, now you don't have to be like, what, like if we were named like Armchair and someone's like, what team is Armchair?
Who's on that team?
Oh, you know, it's Brandon and Aaron and like,
Nope. Who are they? I don't know. I've never seen them.
there's one who has braids and there's curly hair, glasses.
Huh. No, still not ringing a bell.
Armchair. They played last weekend.
What do they look like though?
Many different heights. Hats. They wear hats.
What kind of hats?
Oh God.
I love this ally.
You know, just say it. It's
trying
some black,
so hard.
it's some black people. It's the black. I'm saving you guys from saying the black team.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
They
no.
be saying that shit anyway.
Oh yeah,
That's weird to say. You know, some black people, the black team.
I feel like several people at the shop have come up to me and have talked about miscommunications they've had because of the name.
Oh,
like,
that's funny though.
So and so was like just sitting at the bar and they're like, oh yeah, and then like I saw some black people and they were performing and and everyone turned around looking like what? I do love that our name is like sowing discord among white people.
That was for me. That was like a little cherry on top.
Yes.
Whenever they put the first tickets out and it's like said you have purchased some black people.
Oh
That
shit!
shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Someone screenshotted to me and said, "Look at this," and I was like,
They're back at it.
We have to put that in the slides.
literally, yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, once again, thank you so much.
Yeah, big shout outs to Andy Slowy.
Andy Slowy.
I mean, we could literally shout out so many people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we
want to
could.
shout out Melanie because I would literally have left the shop if she hadn't been so just like overwhelmingly friendly and kind
Melanie,
and
we love you.
vulnerable. Yeah. If you're like concerned about doing improv class and you want to do it, just do a level 0 with Melanie. It's like the most chill thing. You just have to say one thing about who you are and the rest is just make believe.
Yeah, truly.
Also, we're like lucky to do it in this city and with this specific like school because I know a lot of improv spaces are people who are trying to get famous and like a lot of backstabbing, like weird stuff.
Oh.
Here it's like just the most welcoming people you've ever fucking met.
Yeah.
Just being like, please hang out. Please
Yeah,
hang
just
out and
have
have fun.
fun.
Yeah.
That's what they want. Community, and then we're a community that also happens to do improvisation, and it's kind of what brings us together, holds us together, and it's fun. It's just like I've never had so much joy and so much fun in my life before, and yeah.
I was thinking the other day, it's so funny how like I've spent a lot of my life being told like I'm too much or like I'm a weirdo or a freak, and I've like put that part of me away a lot. And now it's like for improv, everyone's like, bring it out, you've got to do it more. I'm like, oh God, I've been told not to do this. It's so hard sometimes, but it feels really good to be like valued. I feel like for the things that people used to be like, that's weird. Now it's like, that's weird.
So okay,
Yeah.
let's get into we smoking right now. So let's talk a little bit about y'all high moments. So like, what was the first time that y'all smoked? What was y'all first smoking experience like?
My first experience was in my apartment with my ex, and it was actually both of our first time.
Really?
Yeah. And I just remember I was nervous just because I'm nervous about new stuff anyway, and I just didn't know. So my first experience wasn't actually even smoking. It was edible. And crazy. And so my brother's girlfriend at that time, she had like whipped up a batch of brownies, and she just like, hey, just do one each. Like, you just need one each. I'm like, cool. So we followed the rules. We just did one each. It was about a good hour. And I remember like we both like, we were like, man, and it's the classic stuff. Like, right. Like, this shit isn't working. Yada, yada, yada. Hour 20. We took a shower. We both laid in bed, and we're just like, yeah. and it hit us in bed so damn hard. I remember being terrified that my back was touching the ceiling, like I was jumping and my back was touching the ceiling. It felt it was very like reminiscent of like Peter and Never Neverland, just kind of like flying and doing a lot of this, and like my back was touching. You couldn't
that was
tell
a slow
me.
burn. That felt good.
Like you couldn't tell me that I wasn't flying because I knew I was, and in my head I was. But I just remember like when I was ready for it to be over, I wanted it to be over, and it just was not being over. And I remember just laying in the bed and like I start crying. I was just like, I'm stuck forever. I'm stuck forever. So next morning, woke up, we were just like, damn, that was crazy. Like, that was really insane, right? So I called my brother, and I was like, yo, what was that? Like, she told us to eat one brownie only. He was like, who? And I'm going to redact the name. But he goes, a whole one? Nah, not with how she whip it up, dude. You could take it like a fourth each. That's crazy. She's like, she tried to kill y'all. Yeah, that was my first high story. And then I proceeded to get high like the next 5 nights. Hey. Smoked, then another edible, just kind of like, we were just like, oh yeah, we love this shit now. So yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yours turned out way better than mine.
We wanted to, I think I just didn't know what to expect because I'm already crazy anyway. So I'm like, I need to be locked in the confines of my apartment. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to know, like, don't let me out of here. Yeah. Like, whatever's going to happen needs to stay up in here because I was not brave enough to do it in public somewhere, you know?
How old were you?
I was 20, probably like 27.
Aaron, that's
26,
incredible
27.
That you waited that long. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it was a minute. I mean, I grew up growing up in church and just being like really closed off from a lot of things. Like we just weren't exposed. I remember this was so crazy. It's like hanging out with my older brother. I remember like going. I went and I stayed at his apartment. This is when I was like 16, 17. I had gone and I had stayed at his apartment. So he was like, "Hey, Pops. You know, I want to have Aaron over, yada yada." And so my older brother's like 8 years. He's 8 years older than me, and he's always kind of wild out. I mean, grown different now, but back then that was the whole story. And so like I had gone and stayed at the apartment. I had all I ever knew was just like church, very straight edge, just be good, you know. He went in, I remember we picked up my 2 older cousins, which I just looked up to all of them. And they put on, they put on Nelly. And I remember that was the very first time that I had heard like, you can find back, say Louie. And I was just like, some just smoke and fuck. I was in the backseat like,
all day?
Oh.
That's crazy.
What? In the car, like they were smoking, car was smoked out, and I'm just like, huh. And I remember like getting out of the car when he was dropping me back off. And I remember like I told on him, dude. It was so crazy. I told on him because I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. I told my dad.
But what did you say? What, he's listening to secular music?
I was just like, Dad, Tony is not saved.
Oh, no. You went there with it? Oh, shit. You had to do all that now. Oh, Lord. You didn't talk about this whole religion. You said he ain't even real no more.
Y'all see how I grew up. So I just didn't know. I didn't know what else. I was like, the things that I saw and the things I heard this weekend. It was so much. It was so much for me, which like looking back, like we all like laugh at that shit now, especially like me, because we'll smoke together now. But it's just kind of like now it's just like how different I was. And I mean, you're typically going to be a product of how you grow up and how you're raised and how you're molded and everything like that. And so like I'm very thankful for getting into my own skin, being able to decide what's real for me, what's not real for me, and like how I want to rock and everything, like, and just knowing like that shit just was not a big deal. But you only know, I mean, dude, like, I mean, you probably just saw that was it the DEA was just like, oh, we're gonna declassify, like we're gonna make it a less harmful drug, is what that was the language that they used. But I'm like, back then, just growing up, especially like in the 90s, you mentioned marijuana, it was like the world's about to end, you know. And so we just didn't know what we didn't know.
I didn't smoke until I was like 24.
Oh really?
Yeah, I just waited, and then I worked in a restaurant, and when I started in the restaurant, I was a virgin. I didn't drink, and I had never smoked weed. And then slowly all of those things changed. But my identity is like a really like good person was like important to me, so I didn't do any of those things. And then I decided I was going to smoke weed, so I bought some privately one day and like took it home and tried to roll it and smoke it by myself, but I couldn't figure out how to smoke because I had never rolled anything or smoked anything. So when I went to one of my like waitress friends named Amy, and I was like, Amy, can you come to my house and teach me how to smoke weed? And then she did, and I remember I felt like I was on a riverbank and I was half dinosaur, half person, half robot. And I do know that that's not how halves work, but that's what I felt like. I also felt like I was peeing my pants a lot, but I wasn't. It was just like very warm in my body. And then I smoked weed every day since then.
Love.
I was 15 the first time I smoked weed.
Oh damn.
Yeah. It was, I had a friend come over. We walked to this little baseball diamond that was next to my family's place. And then we smoked, and I remember giggling and having a lot of fun. I did not have a bad time the first time. And now I think now I'm in a better place, but like I smoked a lot from like 15 to like 20 probably. And then I got like a crazy amount of anxiety around weed for some reason.
Sure.
And now it feels like I'm just slowly undoing that every now and then by like smoking a little bit and then feeling fine and just continuing that process. And then sometimes I'll take an edible and be like back in like the first time I got anxiety about it.
It's a different high.
Yeah, edibles be fucking you up. I don't do edibles when you ain't got shit to do.
Yeah.
You just never know it's a gumbo when it comes to them, dog.
I think that the thing for me with anxiety with edibles is like, if I smoke, I'm going to be high within 2 minutes. And I know that. And I know it'll start to wear off within an hour or an hour and a half, maybe. With an edible, you have to take it and then be like, I might be high in an hour. I might be high in 3. It's like, did I eat something fatty today? Because that's also going to affect this.
I saw a meme today that was like someone saying to their friend like, oh, we should smoke before we eat this. And the friend was like, it's an edible, bro. Like, I see his point, though, is all I'm going to say. I see his point.
I can't really remember the first time that I smoked. I don't think I got high, and it wasn't like a super big experience. But the first time I remember getting high, I was like maybe 19. And it was when I went off to college. I had met this guy. Shout outs to Brian. He's fucking awesome.
Wow, first and last name. That's brave.
Do you have his social by chance?
I'm sorry. I just he's like he's helped me out a lot in life.
That's what's up.
And he like also is the person I got high with the first time. And I remember
You ain't got no job that's gonna get on fire, dude. Like talking about this, like
I don't think so.
Oh God.
You said it.
I mean, he's a software developer.
Don't
like
stop, Brandon.
I gotta say, hey man, he said it's cool, so I ain't editing shit. So you out there, dog. Welcome to the world.
Okay, well, fine. Like, edit it out. Anyways, I was smoking with this guy. And I don't know. We just ate chips and salsa. And I experienced synesthesia for the first time. And I can I was like interpreting like the tastes as like shapes.
Yeah.
So like salsa tastes very like, I don't know, like spherical and like, you know, that was my experience.
That's what's up, man.
I don't know. I always tell my first one. I'll tell my second one because my second one was wild too. So the first time I got so fucked up I didn't smoke for years. So the second time was with my now wife. Shout out K Valley.
Down in the valley where the girls get naked.
And did that drop in a minute.
It was a little song. Sorry.
Can you hum it? What was it?
It was like down in the valley where the girls get naked.
Shout out P Valley.
Hey, I like that one. All right, go ahead.
We had just went on one of our first dates, and so back in the day, you know, when I used to be on my fuckboy shit, one of the ways that you would end up being with me official was I had to bring my little cousin with me. So like you'd have to go hang out with her, and if she approved, then I got you. So we went to the zoo and we was having a really good time and all that. So we getting ready to leave, take her home. After that, we were supposed to smoke with the homies. So I'm getting my little cousin in the car, and so this car next to us starts backing out, and I got my door wide open, so I hurry up and slam it closed, but I closed my finger in the door. So like I pull it out, and at first I'm kind of like, damn, this shit hurt. And so I'm touching the door handle. I'm like, all right, why my hand keep on slipping and shit?
Please.
And so like I finally get the door closed, and I walk to the driver's side door or whatever. I get in, and I realize my hand just like going crazy with the blood and shit. So I was like, damn. And so we finally drop her off. But on the way there, she's sitting up there making fun of me, my little cousin. So I was like, in the back seat, just talking shit on me getting hurt. So I'm like, all right, well, damn. I see what it is. I'll take you out for a good time, and then you're going to make fun of me getting hurt. See, kids ain't shit. That's why I ain't got none. But nah, real talk. Shout out JoJo. So we finally dropped her off, and I had to go to the emergency room. And so the whole time I'm like, damn, man, I ain't gonna be able to smoke tonight. That's the whole thing I wanted to do. Like, we got all this done. I ain't gonna be able to smoke. And so I'm texting the homies. I'm like, hey, y'all, if I get my finger glued up real quick, y'all still down to smoke tonight? And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, bet, say less. So the whole time I'm just in there waiting on them to hurry up. I'm like, yo, is the doctor gonna come anytime soon? Cause like, I'm not trying to tell them like, I'm trying to go do some drugs with all my friends and shit. Yeah. But you know, like, I'm glad we went to the hospital before this and not after, because that really would have been like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So luckily enough, I was able to get my finger glued shut. We get back to the crib, and we had one of the greatest smoke sessions of my life, yo. We had so many blunts rotating around and shit. And I remember that was back when I hadn't really smoked for real. So, like, I was still having the whole paranoid shit. So I'd be, like, at the door, looking at the door through the peephole and shit, making sure ain't nobody knocking. Because I hear, like, random knocks and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking around trying to make sure ain't nobody doing shit. But finally, eventually, like, you know, you get that paranoia down. And, like, I remember I had a bass at that time, so I turned that mug on. And just like listening to music, just laying on the floor and just out there feeling the beats and just like
just going through, yeah,
just like vibing with the music. And that's when I was just like, okay, I should have found this a long time ago. Like, this should have been my shit. Because like I never got to like smoke in high school or anything like that. I probably would have, but I got drug tested. So like, I don't know. You
had also probably lost a lot of blood at that point, so you were like high and lightheaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Yeah. That's true.
It's probably a vibe.
I mean, it was. Shit. Yeah.
There's also something incredible about music and weed. I'm like, those are like the two match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Like music and weed. Like something about it. I'm like, suddenly everything sounds better. Like it sounds like you hear more depth in music, I think, when you're a little high, which is super fun.
Yeah.
One of the best shed sessions I've ever had, and by shed sessions, I mean just like getting together with like a group of musicians just jamming, you know, was when I was high. Like I felt like everything was like I could see it was very Matrix-like for me. So like I slowed it down in my mind. I could see everything that I was doing before I was doing it. I could hear, like I was just in, like you mentioned, synesthesia, like seeing. I felt there was during that session, I definitely felt like I saw music, like I visually saw it, and it was just one of the best sessions. And we did not hit record that session, but I was like, we just made a Grammy album. In my mind, this was like a Grammy worthy album. And so yeah, music, and it just makes it all better. It does.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. Like, I feel like I got like a whole. That's when I make my best playlist. I'll sit up there and smoke and listen to a playlist while making a playlist, like, yeah, type shit.
I just love weed because my mind is like 100 million miles per hour all the time, and sometimes an edible or smoking. Sometimes, so an edible or smoking just helps me like calm down and like feel my actual thoughts and be able to like pick things versus just everything coming out. So shout out to neurodivergence.
No. Did you make that thing? Remember when we were at your house and you were like, do you want to see was that an amusement park that you made?
I just made another one yesterday. Jurassic Park. I make theme parks, but they have dinosaurs in them. And
do you make them when you're high?
I make them when I'm high, when I'm not high. It's just a fun little thing.
It's very
like
fun.
Organizing and decorating and dinosaurs.
Do people get ate?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, sometimes.
You be having casualties at your park?
Yeah, I had 6 today. Woo! My Indoraptor kept getting out. But then I eventually tranquilized them and I sold them for $1.5 million.
Damn.
Yeah, so I just have to genetically modify it so it's not smart enough. So I'll just do that. My scientists have the capability.
Hey, man, you on some deep shit. Hold on, this got dark quick. You see that shit?
Like I said, shout out to neurodivergence.
This shit started beautiful as fuck at first. It's like a nice little amusement park. I'm going to take my kids to. Then it just turned into a whole,
you can trust us. We have insurance.
Oh.
Disney
Bring your kids. It's fine. It'll be cool.
Like life insurance?
The park has insurance.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah. There's just like a lawyer fee when someone dies, and then we move on.
The
park doesn't even close. Keeps on.
She just say that? She on some G shit. You a gangster over here, yo.
I reached $1 billion in one of my parks, and then they're like, there's no more. That was it. They didn't let me make any more money.
All right,
so you shut it down?
Yeah.
Serious question, though. Whenever you be having them deaths, do the money go up because people be like attracted to that ride?
I don't know. I don't know if it's that detailed. Maybe they go down. I think there's like a public trust thing.
Okay.
But I just keep fucking with the dinosaurs.
These are violent deaths.
Oh yeah, the dinosaurs will like grab them and toss them up in the air, trample them.
Wow.
Sometimes the flying ones can get out of the aviary and they'll grab people.
So it's very much Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
But you can make the settings like really easy. There's sandbox, so you can make it however you want. It's really good. I would really recommend it.
That's so fun. All right, y'all. Before we wrap up, let me ask 2 more questions at least. All right, so it's a new one that I've been asking a lot of folks. So, okay. We've all had a smoke session, clearly. So, what are your top 3 smoke session rules?
Don't make fun of people for coughing.
Okay.
Coughing's okay. And sometimes, people just smoke vastly different amounts. And it happens to everybody, so just be chill about it. Did you say 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What will be another one? Just, share. Be like, gracious and, I don't know, socialist in your puffs. And I didn't think of a third one. Someone else go. I'll think of my third one then.
I know my 3. So they all revolve around a plan, right? So I want to make sure that I have 1, a cold beverage. There's got to be a cold drink nearby. 2, a little snack, because the thing is, I'm gonna get a little anxious, and then I, in my head, have convinced myself that if I have a little snack, it'll help serve me up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I always have to have a snack around. And then 3, I want to watch something. I want to watch TV. I don't want to play a game. I don't want to like have a deep conversation. I'm like, you just got to give me some time, and then we can talk after. We can talk like in like 30 minutes, but like you got to let me work through the peak of my high with just like some mindless television.
I have
really
opposite rules of both of those. I feel like I'm not gracious with weed. I feel like I hate whenever like you're doing a smoke, like if you're in a group of larger people and you're doing like a little smoke out and someone that was not talking to you just walks up all of a sudden and is like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm like, get out of here. Absolutely not. It's very transparent. And I'll be like, I will say no. You guys know I just tell them no. So my rule is like, if you're not hanging out, don't try to get in the smoke out because I feel like that's grimy. And that was applause. And then I do want to have deep conversations. I just want to immediately get right into a deep conversation. I want to ask you really personal questions, and I want you to ask me them as well. And then the other one would be I do agree about drinks. I need multiple drinks. I need a hot beverage, a cold beverage, a fizzy beverage. Yeah.
Mine is, so some of it overlaps. I typically like to have like food on tap, right? So like if I know that the session is going to be happening, like I'm like, don't start until somebody has ordered the pizza, like, or ordered the DoorDash or whatever, because like when I need it, and like I want it to like come together. It's like a casserole. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the ingredients and it needs to mix perfectly at the right time. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of rules, man. I mean, I think a lot of it, like I said, a lot of it just overlaps. I think for me also is, I'm typically only going to probably do a session with like people that I know, you know, just because it is I'm a control freak, like self-control freak, and I need to be able to like control my surroundings, which sidebar is why I don't know how people jog outside with headphones on. I'm like, you can't hear anything.
That's really scary.
Yeah. How do you do that? So like I need to be able to do it with people that I know because I need to feel some level of safety, right? And if I know I'm around people that like rock with me and I rock with them, like I'm good. That's probably it, man. Like if those really, I only got, I guess, really two for real that are just like the main things. I need to be able to trust you and have the food good. I think, yeah.
I like those. Okay, and then the second question, like I said, top three. If you were to have a smoke session, dead or alive, who would you invite?
Right on.
I'm trying to think of which one of you I want to leave right now.
She said, "What are y'all getting?"
No, that was just a joke.
Because he's my all-time like favorite celebrity. This is how I do it. My favorite celebrity, love him because I grew up on wrestling. It would be The Rock.
Really?
Like I would smoke with Dwayne Johnson. Then probably like all-time favorite drummer. He's nobody to y'all, but he's a good friend of mine. His name is Brent. So I'd smoke with him. And lastly, like all-time probably biggest celebrity crush, Selma Hayek. I'd smoke with Selma Hayek. Yeah. It's a very odd three. They're all alive.
Yeah.
But I think it would be because the purpose of that session, it's going to be an interview for me too. Like I want to know everything.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
Brent actually know pretty well, so he could just kind of hang out and he just fun. But yeah, that's probably my thoughts. Yeah.
All right, cool. As long as you was comfortable with just interviewing someone, because The Rock, you ain't gonna be able to beat that out, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, he's inspirational in a lot of different ways. So I'm just like, This man is a mogul, and this is what so in Hollywood people say he is a genuinely nice dude.
I don't know.
This is what but you can't. This is what you hear, and the people. When I say Hollywood, I'm not talking about celebrities. I'm talking about the people that folks can assume that could be treated badly. So what I mean by that is like people
the gaffers, the best boy grips.
Well, like yes, those people, but then also like the servers, the hotel staff, like everybody hates J-Lo. Like they say she's the absolute worst in terms of like hospitality. Okay. Like nobody likes to fuck with her. They don't want to deal with her. Also singing. Yes. But like those are the people that like when they get on like the tangents and you go to the Reddit threads and stuff like that. Like I work at XYZ in Hollywood and blah 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 sat at my table, or I work at this hotel and like they're fantastic. They tip the whole staff. That's the kind of stuff that I look at. I don't necessarily like look at what like column writers are gonna say, because they're gonna say whatever. But I think the service industry, the hospitality industry, they're gonna tell it like it is.
That's a fact.
And then like the people on set, the catering staff on set, like what are they saying? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, Kendall.
Oh,
hey.
I don't. I was over here thinking. I'm like, damn. Do I know who it would be? But I have like Rihanna is probably one of them because I'm like Rihanna would know about weed in a way that is like mind blowing for me. Sure. And then my friend Scott Leaker would be the other person I would ask to join. And then I don't fucking know. I don't know who the third would be. I'm like, it's got to be we got to be watching a movie, so maybe someone who's like loves a movie or directed a movie or something. Ooh. You know what I mean? Like
That's
find
fun.
a director of a movie that I really like and like ask them. They would be the third person probably. Yeah, that's probably it.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's a really thoughtful answer.
I don't want to do Bayard Rustin because he was a queer black civil rights activist.
Nice.
He organized the Million Man March. He was like was an early adopter of like nonviolence. He like went over to India after Gandhi died and like learned their like ways of nonviolent resistance, and then brought it back to the United States and like taught Martin Luther King a lot of the things he knows about nonviolence.
Beautiful.
So that obviously leads into a much larger conversation, but he just has had like such a critical impact on like the politics of the United States. And he goes unsung and unremembered because he's gay. But he's awesome. He's super duper cool. And he used to be like really fucking wild, and he used to be sleeping around, and he was in prison at one point, and he was like, he had like a boyfriend in prison he was running around with, and then they was coming at him like, look, you can't be like, kissing on boys in here and doing all this like shit and kicking him out of the civil rights movement. And then like racist white people would be like, Martin Luther King is gay. He hanging out with like Bayard Rustin. They would like put that shit in newspapers. So, Bayard Rustin, fierce. Who else? I would want to smoke with, you were saying directors of movies. I forget what his name is who directed Tongues Untied. But he was also a queer black activist in the 1990s. And he died of HIV. But when I watched in the 90s, but when I watched Tongues Untied, it just was super cool. And he also released a documentary about black like caricatures, like the histories of like caricatures, and like Aunt Jemima and like Uncle Ben, and like was like really going like tracing the through line between like caricatures and like the modern day, and talking about like just the history of like humor in this country, like minstrelsy playing like a very big part in it, and like that being like the dominant like form of humor for like decades.
Sure. And
being like a primary way in which like white people who had no exposure to black people were introduced to black stereotypes. So yeah, he's cool. He would be awesome to talk to. They're both dead. So if I had to pick someone who was living, who I love, I don't know. Who would I pick? Like, I don't know, Bernie Sanders.
That's cute.
I
I
thought
would.
she was gonna say somebody from Tekken.
Somebody from Tekken. My girl,
like
Xiao
your boy-
Yu. Ling Xiao Yu. Oh, you're talking about a real person.
I thought,
Yeah.
the forget.
You talking about
Middle East cat?
You talking about Arslan?
Yeah.
Oh, I might just meet Arslan one day in real life.
I would have a smoke session with the greatest general practitioner, dentist, and dermatologist in the United States of America. That's what I would do. And I would be like, hey, look at this.
Perfect answer.
Hey,
Someone
why-
who doesn't have health insurance. Perfect answer.
I would be like, hey, does everything look okay? Like, just in my mouth, like, just generally.
You gotta bring that fire if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, so that's my answer.
Hell yeah, that's smart. That's smart as fuck, yo.
Thank you. I feel I'm getting the vibe that we're about to wrap up. So I just wanted to say that I love you guys so much, and this has been really fun.
Love you too.
It's just been so good to get to know you, and like I think back on like when I feel like I know you guys like individually now, where it was before like the group fate made me feel good, but now it's like you guys individually make me feel good, and that's really fun. And also, we have a show.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Plug it.
Yeah, right before we wrap up. Go ahead.
You keep going with the show stuff.
Yeah.
We're going on a run of shows.
Yeah.
And you should come to the shows at the Improv Shop.
When are the shows, Jessica?
May 25th, June 8th, June 22nd, and July 27th.
Woo.
He thought, folks. I just want everyone to know that Aaron thought.
That's what I pulled my phone out because I got to look at these dates because I don't know off the top of my head.
I can tell you how many tickets we've sold for each show.
Yes.
Which I won't, but I will say you should get your tickets soon for the May 25th show.
Get them.
It's going to be really fun.
Get the tickets.
I'm excited to play with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exciting.
Likewise.
And Charles.
Oh. Yo, shout out Charles, yo. For real, for real. Hey, we missing a big piece of this puzzle right now, y'all. Yeah. For real.
1/6 of it.
Yeah. But no, we gotta do this again for real, for real. Like, I love that y'all came up here. Like, I thank y'all for coming up. Like, this was a major moment for me, honestly. Like, if I'm gonna just speak for real, like, yeah. This is something that I've really wanted to do for a long time. Ever since I started improv, like, I wanted to start branching out and doing other forms of podcasting, not just cannabis, but start really branching out into entertainment. And I feel like this was a major step into that. Like. So I appreciate y'all.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful view.
Yeah.
I'm staying here tonight. I'll leave in the morning. I'm sorry, Micah.
I want, while we're giving our last minute shout outs, I want to give a last minute shout out to you, Donovan. Just from starting from the beginning together up until like even just our last practice, like seeing you like do improv, and it's just, it's beautiful to be on this journey with like everybody, but there's never going to be like a sort of relationship that I have with anyone else, like, like you or like Tara or like anyone who who just comes from so much of the same sort of context with us specifically.
Normandy bros.
Normandy.
Well, Kendall, I just want to say to you.
And Charles, you're my favorite.
And just reassembled, we fell apart.
Oh, that's good.
For real though. Okay, so we got the dates out the way. Go ahead and everybody shout out their socials real quick.
I'm Deep with Future on pretty much everything. We are SBP Improv on Instagram and Some Black People on Facebook.
I don't have an Instagram. People keep telling me to get one. So you won't find me there, but you can find me on Facebook. Aaron Moore. I guess.
You can say your last name, yeah?
It's all over the website.
I thought about that. I was like, there's probably a lot of Aarons in St. Louis. Aaron Moore?
There's two at the... Never mind.
There's legit two at the Improv Shop. It's crazy. We actually have a Tuesday. We don't play that much, but her name is Aaron Moore. My name is Aaron Moore. Our team name is Aaron Most.
Aww.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out Aaron Moore. That was a good name. Coming up with that was very good. And we'll play soon.
All of my socials are under K Phillip, but the I's are ones. That's it. That's you can find me under everything on there.
Love.
I don't really do a lot of social media.
Fair.
If you want to follow me on TikTok, it's dripping.n.swarovskis.
Crystals.
Yeah, but don't expect it to be getting updated. And then otherwise, I don't know. You can send me an email. If you're tenacious enough, you can find it.
Oh, shit.
Send me an email. I love that.
I feel you. Damn. The boy had to throw a thirst trap in there before he got done. I feel you.
Tenacious enough.
That was on fire. Oh, shit. But y'all already know how it go. Y'all already know. Make sure y'all follow the homie Slump. It's SLUM.
I'm gonna just let you know right now, it's not even worth it, bro. I'm gonna just put it on the screen.
Alright. He always be doing this, man. I'm trying to make you professional. I'm trying to make you legit.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, appreciate you, Slump.
Yeah, shout out Slump. You already know. Shout out T-Break T. Hopefully he'll get back with us soon. You already know he been working hard. But y'all already know that's gang always. Make sure y'all follow Too T3rpd on our socials. Make sure you follow the YouTube. Make sure you follow our Patreon. Hit us up with them voicemails and text at 314-399-9711. And don't forget to follow me, Donovan 2408, on all social media platforms.
You know what it was.
Go to theimprovshop.com and buy tickets to our show.
Yeah, because we about to sell out.
Yeah.
And also go on my Instagram and like pictures of me.
Just like, I need all my weed homies to start following some black people. Follow all of us, come and check this shit out. Start coming to them shows, man. It's 420 friendly on the outside.
That's real.
Yeah.
And we got a whole patio for you.
Yep.
We be having a fire out there.
The other day they were looking all over for me. I was in the green room waiting for them, and they were like, "We just kept checking the patio because we thought you would be out there smoking weed." I'm in the green room. I'm ready for this. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we're just talking now.
Yeah. Bye.
Thanks so much.
Did you want to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say follow our Instagram, but Jessica already shouted that out. But if you heard that thing earlier about the pocket pussy and you were like, "What is that all about?" There is a literal clip of that on the Instagram. So whenever you go to follow us, you can also see that.
Yeah. And if you can't find it, Jessica and I will do a play-by-play if you ever see us in person. Be like, "Hey, y'all are the pocket pussy people. Can you redo that?" And we'll be like, "Okay."
We should start selling pocket pussies.
Dang, we should get us.
Team branded. Team branded.
Yes.
Some black people.
Some black people. Some black people. Have a good night, folks.
Yeah, on that note.
It's 2 T3rpd.